And Zach went a little too willingly. There's Fisher. He's a left half back. Wilt under pressure, touched off the boot. O'Brien, his look-alike, knocks it forward, taken by Wellingham. Side bottom, kept his composure. Jolly hooks it inside the forward 50. Collision. Oh, well done by Fisher. That hurt. Davis is down as well. Fisher hasn't moved. Meantime, Del Santo. Well, the toll is mounting for St Kilda. Taken by Hayes. Oh, brilliantly done, O'Brien. Low down. Took it off his bootstraps. Drives it back. They need to be careful here. Player receiving treatment. Cloak. Juggles the mark. Fisher appears to be up to it. That is so courageous.
Yeah, both players going at the footy.
He looked as if he was out before his... He's out there. And the people who say the modern game's not hard, they've got to have a hard look at that contest. I mean, that is just fearsome.
Now the stretch is coming out, so the action will cease, at least for the moment.
Terrific play by Harry O'Brien to play in front of his man as a defender and pump the ball in long, and a good sign for Collingwood that Travis Cloak appears to be running around injury-free.
I know they've got plenty on the plate, the Medicos, when they get out to that injured player, but had that ball been about 15 metres shorter in the kick, they could have put real pressure on that situation down there because the player appears to be unconscious. Tim?
Well, this is really going to stretch St Kilda further if this is a serious injury to Fisher. Riewoldt already off the ground. That's forced changes for the Saints. They've shifted Goddard into the forward line. He hasn't been as a productive player playing as a forward as he was early in the game, so he's had to move out of his favoured position. Now they've got to cover again for Fisher in the back half, so there's some real concern in the coach's box now for Ross Lyon and his men. Well,
the upside is this could be a famous victory. Wonderful courage there by Sam Fisher.
It's interesting, I guess, when you go in these two huddles, as you can see, Michael Gardner talking, Lenny Hayes grabbed the boys before at half-time. You really see the leaders in amongst the group. I could see Harry O'Brien directing in the Collingwood huddle too. He's doing it all tonight, Harry. He's playing one hell of a game.
That was wonderful just moments ago. That ball low down. Takes a special player to control it and run as he did. A man of that size.
He's taken the Milne match up too, and I must say Goddard is always dangerous wherever he's on the field, but Milne's probably the St Kilda player that can kick his 2 or 3 and a half.
Yep.
So O'Brien's taken that key match up as well.
So, Tom, what are you saying in there at this stage? I mean, is it just generic stuff? Is it specific? I mean, what would a bloke be saying to his team?
I think both these sides are really structured and disciplined units, and I think that's the message you have to reinforce the basics. Each side probably has 3 or 4 team rules that they want to drive home. The stakes are high. Often in this situation, the side that loses concentration first will get punished, so no excuse not to be on the ball from a concentration point of view, because you've had your time to get your breath back and start again.
It's fair to say this game sometimes is a primitive game, and nobody likes to see this.
On the other hand, we have seen players taken from the field and come back in 20 minutes. I think one thing he certainly looks like he's been badly concussed and probably lost consciousness, but they do actually err on the side of caution, make sure they put the neck brace on, just make sure the players looked after.
It's amazing how, when a situation like that happens to you in a game, how concerned your relatives get for you, and I'm sure, you know, we'd be remiss not to mention the families, I guess, and Sam Fisher.
So when Sam Fisher leaves the ground, Cloak will have the football, and Collingwood could have the lead.
But look at those key numbers. Yeah, as you said, 23 to 35 inside 50 St Kilda Collingwood. Contested possession 68 to St Kilda, 92 to Collingwood. Clearances 13 to St Kilda, 26 to Collingwood. So Collingwood are well on top on all the key indicators, but not the scoreboard.
Now Sam Fisher, when you look at the stats, 23 possessions, leads all comers on the ground, so this is a huge loss. Riewoldt is gone. Fisher joins him, although I doubt we'll see him on the bench.
Well, they're your bookheads, aren't they? We see Geelong going into their game on Sunday without Mooney and Scarlett, and to tackle the second half without Riewoldt.